I look at the Taiwan issue as a major flashpoint in the Asia Pacific region. And it is there where, if possible, I'm saying just if possible, war could erupt anytime now. And right now, uh, there is already a confluence of events and elements that are emerging that could make that happen now or in the immediate future. Of course, Taiwan is a core interest of China. It is a core interest of China, not only because it is an island province of China that was stolen by Japan after the Sino-Japanese War in 1895, in the signing of the so-called Treaty of Shimonoseki. So it was stolen by Japan, and from then on, Taiwan became separate from China. Not only until its independence in 1949, but also until today. Now, as a core interest of China, the Beijing government has stipulated that it will continue to pursue the peaceful reunification with Taiwan. But, and this is a big but, if Taiwan, the moment it decides to declare independence from China, especially with the support of the US, then that will be a different case. And China has all the right to use military means to avoid China from being split between China and Taiwan. So that's one important thing. Now, where's the problem coming from? Where are the tensions coming from? The tensions in Taiwan are born out of the fact that the US has been making provocative actions against China over Taiwan that have included major naval exercises across the Taiwan Straits every month. No? There's one major naval exercise over across the Taiwan Straits every month. The US has been equipping the Taiwan military with military aid, military equipment, and has sold weapons to Taiwan to the tune of about $70 billion, $70 billion to date. That's billion, not in million. Now, all these are encouraging Taiwan, therefore, to move forward toward the edge of declaring its own independence, in violation of the One China principle that was agreed upon by the US and China when both countries forged diplomatic relations sometime in 1975, and which the United Nations itself adopted, where China retook its seat as not only a member of the United Nations, but also as a permanent member of the Security Council. So these are all in violation of the international law, in violation of the One China principle. The US says is interpreted as pursuing what they call a strategic ambiguity policy over the Taiwan issue. But of course, to me, it's very clear that the US is provoking China to a possible war, to push China to bring the war. And the US is supported, by the way, by the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So you have here two powers, namely the US on the one hand and the NATO countries on the other, who are pretty much thickly involved now in the Ukraine war, who are also involved in the over the Taiwan issue. I consider on this note, we can consider for the US as the the biggest strategic security threat to the Asia Pacific region, not the other way around, where the US has described China as a strategic threat to American security. It is a threat to the Asia Pacific region, including the Philippines, no? Which, by the way, still maintains a strong security alliance with the US. The danger there, therefore, is that if any complex event takes place, like a war between the US and China over Taiwan, then the Philippines will be embroiled, will be enmeshed in that unavoidable war. Why? Of course, because the Philippines is a security ally of the US. So in the final analysis, I think what the challenges are to the Marcos administration, if the Marcos foreign policy experts will study it well and consider the consequences on the security of the Philippines and also on the economy of the Philippines, is that the Marcos administration should start reviewing its security alliance with the US. It should start reviewing the Visiting Forces Agreement and other security treaties, including the Mother Treaty of the so-called Mutual Defense Pact of 1951, toward a possible repeal of those agreements. I would like to say this because it would be difficult for the Marcos administration to stay the course of an independent foreign policy unless it severs itself from the clutches, from the chain of being a subordinate country to the US. It cannot maintain an independent foreign policy unless it is bound to its security commitments with the US, which can be used by the US to push the Philippines to support American aggression, not only in Asia, but elsewhere in the world. So that's my policy recommendation. I would have wanted to add more by saying that, yes, we have flashpoints. Yes, we have conflicts. Yes, we have the Ukraine war. But if we look at the other perspective, the world system is changing. It is now emerging to be a multipolar system, not dominated by a hegemonic power, and that's a good start to change the world.